message, I believe. Go to Judges chapter 11. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to get out of your way. And I pray you take this word and hide it in your heart. And I'm sure it will encourage. I'm almost positive going to find somebody in some area of your life. Now, Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor. But he was the son of a harlot. And Gilead begot Jephthah. Gilead's wife bore sons. And when his wife's sons grew up, they drove Jephthah out and said to him, "You shall have no inheritance in our father's house, for you are the son of another woman." Then Jephthah fled from his brothers and dwelt in the land of Tob. And worthless men banded together with Jephthah and went out raiding with him. It came to pass after a time that the people of Ammon made war against Israel. And so it was when the people of Ammon made war against Israel that the elders of Gilead went to get Jephthah from the land of Tob. Then they said to Jephthah, "Come and be our commander, that we may fight against the people of Ammon." So Jephthah said to the elders of Gilead, "Did you not hate me and expel me from my father's house? Why have you come to me now when you are in distress?" And the elders of Gilead said to Jephthah, "That is why we have turned again to you now, that you may go up with us and fight against the people of Ammon, and be our head of all the inhabitants of Gilead." So Jephthah said to the elders of Gilead, "If you take me back home to fight against the people of Ammon, and the Lord delivers them to me, shall I be your head?" And the elders of Gilead said to Jephthah, "The Lord will be a witness between us. If we do not do according to your words." Then Jephthah went to the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and commander over them. And Jephthah spoke all the words before the Lord in Mizpah. You may be seated. I want to talk from the subject this morning: rejected but useful.
Amen. Amen.
Rejected but useful.
Amen.
Heavenly Father, I come before you on this glorious morning. First of all, Lord, I thank you for meeting us here and allowing your presence and power just to saturate this place. Thank you for anointing the voices that sang, the musicians that played, the prayers that prayed, Lord. We thank you for your presence this morning. We pray that you would just now, Lord, minister your word.
Yes, Lord.
Lord, let your word fall
Your
on
word, Lord.
receptive hearts.
Yes, Lord.
Lord, let your word encourage a heart that may be downtrodden. Lord, let your word give power to go on for someone that may be struggling. And Lord, I pray now you would move me and hide me behind the precious cross of Jesus Christ. Lord, allow me to decrease, that the power of your precious Holy Spirit will increase. Lord, I pray that you be glorified and let no flesh glory in your eternal sight. In the precious name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Give me a few minutes this morning. I will do my best to be out of your way. Rejection is something that all of us have probably experienced at one time or another. Rejection alone is hard to bear. But being rejected because of something that is or was out of our control can sometimes be heartbreaking. At the core, rejection affects self-esteem and makes us reevaluate our self-worth. But I've got good news for you. Just because you've been rejected doesn't mean that God can't still find usefulness in you.
Amen.
No one likes to be rejected. And ladies, contrary to popular belief, it's hard for men to sometimes come ask you for your phone number. Because on the one side, you may give it to them. But then on the other side, they may say no. And we have this big old macho posture. But the truth about it is we don't like to be rejected as much as you all don't. Yeah. Every man wants to say they got game. But your game is shattered when you reject it. Say, well, you lose player points when they say no. Guys always tell you about the ones that say, yeah, but they don't want to. They don't want to talk about the one that said no. Yeah, we make up some kind of lame excuse. Come on, brothers, help me. I'll be out of here in a minute. Yeah. And don't fool yourself. Player been rejected. Trust me. Even the best player has been rejected. Trust me. Yeah. We just learned to dust ourselves off and act like it didn't happen. We get that selected memory.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's always somebody else's fault. But rejection is something that all of us have to deal with, and it doesn't feel good because rejection cuts at who you are. That means something in me is not appealing or acceptable to you. And contrary to popular belief, everybody in here wants to be accepted by somebody. Don't play with me this morning. Everybody wants to be accepted by something. Y'all know I'm a dog lover. My dog better act like he like me. Everybody wants to be, the cat lovers want the cat to accept them. Everybody lives with wanting to be accepted. But you want to talk about being hurt, get rejected. Because rejection makes you question who you are. And something about rejection that it stays with you. It lingers with you. Because rejection makes you timid about seeking the next opportunity. To get up out of here this morning. Rejection comes against self-worth. But when you go back and read the book of Judges, as I've often taught you, that it's a book where there was no real leader. The people did what they thought was right. And I'm going to tell you now, it's always dangerous when folks do what they think is right. I know folks got a problem with God-ordained leadership, but it's always good to have a leader. I know I'm right because when you got good, I don't know where I'm going here, but it's something when you got a family where mama ain't mama, dad ain't dad, and you want to wonder, is mama leading, the daddy leading, or do the children lead? You got a house that's just chaotic. There's got to be some kind of leadership in the house. But when folks start doing what they think is right, you have what judges have. So what happened is in Judges, you had cycles. People followed God for a while. And I'm going to be good because I want to encourage your heart. People followed God for a while, and then they do their own thing. And then God says, I'm going to change tactics and give corrective action. I'm going to let someone come and oppress you. Then after oppression, he raises up a judge, a military leader. I told you before, not Judge Judy, not Judge Brown, and some of the other ones. This is a military leader. He raises up for the purpose of delivering the people. Now, this one today is a little different. Now, I want to let you know, these judges were people that were raised up, but they weren't perfect. Amen. God always has a tendency to use what he has at a certain time. So he would raise up people to fight for his folk. But Jephthah today is a little different, and I believe if you follow me, you'll be blessed. Over in chapter 11, look at verse 1. Now Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty warrior.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to stop right there. Jephthah the Gileadite. I mean, he was courageous, brave. He had a lot of positives. He was a man's man. He had some good stuff. But you've heard me talk about it before. It says he was a mighty warrior, comma, then it says, but. A lot of us are good people. We got some showing up good qualities. Yeah. Some of y'all look good.
Yes, sir.
Outgoing personalities. Some of you all are educated. Some of y'all are educated. Yeah. Some of you got it going on. But in the midst of all your good, there's a but beside your name. And I don't care how much you would hear you are not good, you look at how awesome you are. Ladies, can I help you? I know your significant other tells you the best thing since sliced bread. Ain't nothing like you, but let me tell you something. There's a but by your name too. Some of you guys, you know y'all women like to blow our head up. You my king, you this and that. But let me tell you something, Doc. There's a but by your name too. Beautiful little kids. just so goofy, adorable. No, it's a butt by them too.
All right. All right.
The point is, all of us got something good, but like Jephthah, there's a but by your name. And the but always means that there's something getting ready to be said that's different.
You're right.
On the left side, he's good.
Yes.
But the but signifies something of a deficiency.
Yes, sir.
And all of us have a deficiency in some area of our life or not.
Yes.
But watch this. I can deal with a deficiency if I brought the deficiency or caused it myself. But I got a problem with having a problem that I had nothing to do with.
All right. All right.
Jephthah was a mighty man,
Yes, sir.
a mighty warrior. But he was the son of a prostitute. Gilead was his daddy.
Yes, sir.
Now, Gilead is his father, but he's from Gilead. Jephthah has all this good stuff going on, but he's the product of his daddy visiting the local women. Y'all got quiet. His father appeared to be a good man. Nothing is said of him in a negative sense. But he did an immoral thing. Apparently he frequented prostitutes, ladies of the evening, whatever you want to call it. If he lived in Memphis, he might go somewhere around Vance, Lamar, all of that. Yeah. In other words, when everybody else is asleep, he took a stroll down Lamar, Vance, whatever it was, certain parts downtown. Yeah, Brooks Road, all that. All I'm going to say, y'all might not want to help me preach that now. Y'all might want to leave some of this alone. Yeah. I know it is. Some of y'all, because y'all work the night shift and y'all drive. I get it. But help y'all up. There you go. But watch this. He frequented the ladies. And he fathered a child. Now, Jephthah's a good man, great qualities, but he's an illegitimate child. Some of us, the old folk called you, the B word. Yeah. And I want to let you know, illegitimate children face stigmas. People make fun of them. But the truth about it is, he had nothing to do with it.
That's right.
So I want to let you know about the person of Jephthah. He was a great person, a great warrior. The problem of Jephthah was he was an illegitimate child. And like I said, I can deal with a butt being by my name.
Yes, sir.
But let me cause the butt.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Don't let me be the butt of a joke that I had nothing to do with. Person of Jephthah, we're talking about the problem of him being an illegitimate child. Now I want to talk about the person of Jephthah that's going to lead to his rejection. Now watch this, verse 2. And Gilead's wife, that's Jephthah's dad, also bore him sons. And when his wife's sons grew up, they drove Jephthah out of the house. Leave it right there. Watch this. His daddy, Gilead, even though he apparently frequented the night ladies, he fathered this prostitute. And unlike a lot of men in 2000, whatever, some of them make them and don't claim them. Some men are quick to say, amen. Some are quick to show you that they ain't thinking that it's theirs. Because they was there when it was conceived and they ain't been back since it was born. But anyway, mama's baby, daddy's, yeah, y'all said it, I didn't. But the bottom line is, Gilead was a little different. He made the baby and said, I'm going to take it home.
Yes.
Now watch this.
Yes.
While Gilead was out there frequenting the night lady, Gilead had a wife at home.
Oh, no.
And he had some other kids.
All right now.
At least he tried to make it right. He took Jephthah home. Now you can imagine you No, y'all don't need to imagine.
All right.
No, erase that.
All right.
You married, and your husband come home. Who is this? Where did it come from? Then you got the other ones like, who that be? This your brother
Yes.
from another mother.
All right.
So now you got Jephthah in the house with the other kids.
Yes.
But he's not the one. So you got to realize that it says his wife bore him sons. So he got a child and some other children either there or came. You have what is called the blended family.
Yes, sir.
Now, it says that when his wife's sons grew up, they drove Jephthah out. Now, what happens is Jephthah's dad dies. And the other boys grow up. And it's time for some money to be dispersed. You family, you the outcast. So they said, you got to go. Because you're not getting any of the money because you are an illegitimate child.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You from the other woman.
All right.
So Jephthah gets kicked out. But he's kicked out because of something his daddy did.
Yes.
I'm going to ask y'all a question. How many of y'all are rejected and kicked out by something your folks did? Jephthah's dad tried to do the right thing. He took an illegitimate son home and tried to make a blended family. When the boys grew up, they drove Jephthah away. Now, he's in a bad predicament. Watch this. He didn't ask to be conceived out of wedlock.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You right about it.
Can I talk for a minute? Visitors, y'all come back. A whole lot of us didn't pick our parents. But let the truth be told, you probably picked somebody else. Y'all ain't got to get with me, but y'all thought it. Go ahead on. Feel like preaching. He didn't pick his mama, who was a streetwalker.
No, sir. No, sir.
He didn't tell his daddy to go pick that one. He didn't ask to be a part of a family that didn't like him or want him.
No, sir.
He didn't ask for none of that.
No.
All this was thrust upon him by the actions of his parents.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes we can be rejected because of stuff that other folk did.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Exodus 34:7 says, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the third and fourth generation. What does that mean? Watch this. This does not mean that God will punish you for what your parents did. That ain't what it's saying. It does mean that what your parents did will often bear fruit in your life.
Yes.
So next time you go out there doing something you got no business, think about how it affects your children.
Yeah.
Told you before, every action affects somebody else.
Oh, yes.
Everything that Jephthah is experiencing right now was caused by his daddy and a streetwalker.
All right.
Many people today are good people, but find themselves in a bad situation. Watch this. Many people didn't ask to be born in a part of town. You showed up, and your folk just happened to live their foot home. But I'm pretty sure you could have said, I'd have rather lived in Collierville. In other words, you had no say-so at all about being in Foot Home.
All right.
Or the Valley, as they used to call it. Or some other places. Yeah, I'm in church. Yeah, I don't know, Lemoyne God. You didn't ask. Don't think you know, when your time to hit the world, this is where your parents reside. You would have liked to have been born in a 5-room house with a fireplace, big backyard, but that was not what was afforded. You might have been born and raised in some projects where your neighbors could hear what you saying. You had creepy crawlers coming from vent to vent. Don't act like y'all don't know what I'm saying. You didn't ask to be brought up like that. Many children inherited addictions from their chemically dependent parents.
Yes, sir.
Got children around here fiending for stuff. They didn't ask to have that addiction in their blood, but it's something that the parents did. And while the mother don't mean no harm, but while she had the baby on, she wanted to drink a little alcohol. All of a sudden, the baby got a thirst for alcohol. The baby didn't ask to have an inherited thirst, but it was given to it by his parents. Got a whole lot of children running around here with stuff in their bloodline because of what the parents did. They ain't asked for that.
Amen. It's all right.
Many people came, some children came from home. Every time they go home, they got to hear daddy beat mama like a bass drum. They ain't asked to be born to an abusive father and a woman that can't say no. They ain't asked for that.
No, sir. No, sir.
They didn't ask to be born into a family where daddy, after mama sleep, want to start coming from one bedroom to the next.
All right.
They ain't asked for that.
Yes, sir.
They ain't asked to be put in that position.
Amen.
A lot of times, all of us were just born here.
Yes, sir.
Stuff happens to us that causes us pain. But it wasn't because of stuff we did.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. All right.
Then, as I move on, a lot of us didn't just ask to be born on what we would call the wrong side of the track. I don't know about you, but I would have loved to have been born, as they say, with the silver gold spoon in my mouth. I'd love to have been born and had everything ready.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But the truth about it is, some of us were born into families where you have low, middle, and high, or upper class. Some of us may have wondered what was the definition of the low. Y'all don't know what I'm saying? Because low may be one thing, but what you call when you have deal with government food, and you can make that meat and pork and beef, you can have barbecue sandwiches like I don't know what. Yeah, you can get that powdered milk. Got them government eggs. You can eat pork and beans and weenies. Your mama can take a chicken and half eat it all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I don't know if that's low class, that's your class, or that's your surviving. Call it what you want. But you ain't asked for that. You go down to the meat house, buy a bag of hot dog, have hot dog 5 different ways. You ain't asked for that. Y'all heard me say it before. When it gets cold, you got to put plastic over the windows. Get the staple gun. Put the pot of water on the old oven to keep the moisture. You didn't ask for that. You look down at the floor, you can see a little sunshine. You didn't ask for that. You just was born into that. I want to let you know a few other reasons as I state my case and bid you farewell. Some other reasons, sometimes we get rejected for stuff that's out of our control. You didn't ask to come here Afro-American. You didn't ask to come here Hispanic, Asian, Oriental, or Caucasian.
Yes, sir.
You just came that way. Your skin color is out of your control.
Yes, sir.
But you can be rejected because of your skin color. Reject me for me, not because of the color of my skin.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you got folk that were born one leg maybe a little shorter than the other. Somebody may have been born and mind worked a few seconds slower than the other. Some people's eyes may sit straight and the other one aslant. But we want to reject folk by stuff that's out of our control. But we often look at people for who they are and not by things that they can't control. But we've been rejected because of stuff that's out of our control. But I want to get out of here today. I talked about his persecution. So what happens is Jephthah, because he's persecuted and rejected, he runs off.
Yes, sir.
It says that he goes to Tob, and he gets with some worthless fellas. How many of you all know when you get rejected, there's always a tendency to run? And I got news for you, a whole lot of folks still running. Because you wasn't accepted or rejected, you run. You're running from a relationship because the first one rejected you. Some of you you don't want anything because of how someone else treated you,
Yes, sir.
you rejected. Jephthah ran away, and they say he ran into a band of worthless people. Commentators say it was like a group of Robin Hood folk. They just run around raiding for people. How many of you know again? When you're rejected, you end up finding yourself with people in places that you might not need to be.
Yes, sir.
But as I go better way, I want to show you now that he's rejected. He's been in this place a while. But I told you, rejected is one thing, but you can still be useful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Verse 4 says this: after a time, the Ammonites made war against Israel. Now, he's rejected and in the land opposite of home. Because nobody wanted him.
All right.
All they could see was his illegitimacy. But see, the Ammonites made war. Now, who are the Ammonites? These were Lot's nephews. See, Lot slept with his daughters in a cave. And one of the children was named Ammon. And so these Ammonites have always been an enemy of Israel. So now they're causing problems. And the people need a fighter.
Yes.
See, in order for you to go from being rejected to useful, all you need is a God-given opportunity. I'm not here. All you need is a God-given opportunity. See, because the trouble came. In front of the same folk that saw your illegitimacy. Now they see your worth. He was illegitimate, but he was a mighty warrior. Isn't it strange how the stuff that folk laughed about, now they put it behind them and see who you really are. We don't care about his illegitimacy right now. He could fight. Isn't it strange how we are? People only see you're bad.
Yes, sir.
But when God gives you an opportunity, who you on the inside, sure enough come to the forefront. And when Ammonites made war, the elders came and they said, hey, we need you, Jephthah, to come back and fight for us. Yes, sir. See, now the people chose Jephthah, but God was in the plan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, all God needs is an opportunity for you to shine. But just because folk have rejected you because of stuff you couldn't handle, all God wants is an opportunity. To rush the text, can you come back, Jephthah? And Jephthah like, didn't y'all run me away? Yeah, we did, but we here now. Jephthah said, well, if I come back, I got to be the head. They say, ain't no problem, come on back. Just because you are the tail today, does not mean you'll be the head tomorrow. I want to read 1 Corinthians 1:26. It says, remember, dear brothers and sisters, that few of you were wise in the world's eyes, or powerful or wealthy when God called you. Instead, God chose things the world considers foolish in order to shame those things that are wise. In other words, God chooses rejected folk. God chooses outcasts. God chooses folk with birth defects and every kind of other effect. God chooses drug addicts, prostitutes, and pimps. God uses folk who the world say ain't nothing. You want to see a move of God? It'll be led by a broken man or woman for the purpose of God getting glory. God specializes in using rejected folk. So he goes to tell Gilead, he goes to tell Jephthah, we need you. So the text is, he goes and helps them and they win the war. But this same Jephthah was once ridiculed and rejected. But an opportunity came. And he went and defeated the enemy. God opened that door. So just because you've been rejected does not mean that God cannot find usefulness for you. I want to talk about a few folk as we out of here. God uses rejected folk. I'm reminded of Moses, the murderer. Moses saw a fellow brother one day being attacked, and he tried to avenge him. But after he killed the Egyptian, they said, "Who are you?" He had to go run and hide for many years.
Yes.
But the Bible tells me that he was on the backside of the desert,
Uh-huh.
tending sheep.
Yes.
Then he messed around one day and saw a burning bush.
Oh, yes.
And God,
Yes.
he caught his attention. Moses walked up a little bit closer.
Yes.
That thing got his eye.
Uh-huh.
And the closer he got,
Well.
the closer he got, before I said, "Take off your shoes.
Oh, yes.
This is holy ground." God got him right where he wanted him. He took him from being a rejected shepherd
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
to one of the greatest leaders in Israel. Don't tell me what God won't do with rejected folk. The Bible tells me that when Samuel went to anoint the next king in Jesse's house, all the brothers came out.
Oh, yes.
The big ones, the tall ones, the handsome one, the masculine one. And then Samuel said, "Hey, do you got some more balls?" But then the little bitty one, the one the text says he's right. He came in and God said, "That's my man." They couldn't see no good in the little shepherd boy. But the shepherd boy went to be the greatest king in Israel history. God got a habit of using the most unsuspected one. Just because folk rejection don't mean that you don't have a purpose in God's plan. Joseph was hated by all his brothers. But little did they know, the one that they rejected was the one that would eventually save them from their own family. God got a habit of dealing with rejected folk. The Bible tells me that he was wounded for my transgression. Yeah, so let me know that Jesus Christ was rejected. But little do we know that the rejected person ends up running everything. God takes rejected stuff and makes it useful. So this morning, if you find yourself feeling rejected by circumstances that are out of your control,
All right.
learn from Jephthah.
Yes, sir.
You could be rejected,
Yes.
but still be useful.
Yes, sir.
I ain't finished. The doors of the church are open.